Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on the latest updates. Today, we have some huge news that could drastically change the financial lives of millions of Americans. If you or someone you know relies on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this could be the game changer you've been waiting for. Senator Bernie Sanders, the independent voice out of Vermont, has just introduced a bold new plan that's getting a lot of attention and for good reason. We're talking about the $8,450 triple payment plan for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipients. Yes, you heard that right. Bernie is proposing a massive increase in the benefits that Americans receive from these crucial programs, and it's a plan that could put thousands of extra dollars in the hands of people who need it the most. In this video, we're going to break down what this plan actually entails, how it would work, who is eligible, and what it could mean for the future of these critical programs. So if you've been following the news and wondering what exactly is going on with Social Security, stick with me. We're about to dive deep. Before we get into the specifics of the new proposal, let's set the stage. Social Security, Supplemental Security Income, SSI, and Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, have been cornerstones of financial security for millions of Americans for decades. However, these programs were established many years ago, and while they've provided much-needed relief to those who are retired, disabled, or facing financial hardships, the benefits they offer haven't kept pace with the increasing cost of living. For many years, Social Security payments have remained relatively stagnant, with only modest adjustments for inflation. But we all know inflation has been rising faster than those adjustments. Basic necessities like housing, healthcare, and groceries have all become significantly more expensive, while Social Security checks have remained pretty much the same. This creates a severe gap between what people actually need to survive and what they receive. It's left millions of Americans in a precarious situation, struggling to make ends meet. On top of that, SSI and SSDI recipients who often have additional barriers to employment due to age, disability, or health issues have been particularly hard hit. With rising medical expenses and increasing costs for things like prescription drugs, many beneficiaries find themselves slipping further and further behind. For many, the payments they receive simply aren't enough to cover the basics of daily life. That's where Bernie Sanders comes in. Bernie has long been a strong advocate for social programs, and he has been calling for increases in Social Security benefits for years. He's pushed for legislation to improve the safety net, especially for the most vulnerable people in our society. His new plan, which could inject $8,450 in additional payments into the hands of millions of people, is his most ambitious proposal yet. And it could represent a major shift in how our country views financial assistance for those in need. Now, let's get into the heart of what Bernie Sanders has proposed. The $8,450 triple payment plan is designed to provide much-needed relief to recipients of Social Security, SSI, and SSDI benefits. But what does that actually mean for you? First, let's break down the concept of triple payments. Essentially, this plan would combine three distinct benefits, one for each of these major programs, into a comprehensive package of support. The first piece of the puzzle is Social Security. Social Security benefits are the payments that retirees receive after they've worked for a certain number of years and paid into the system. The second piece is SSI, which is specifically for individuals with very low income and limited resources who are disabled, blind, or elderly. And the third piece is SSDI, which provides payments to those who are unable to work due to a disability. Bernie's plan calls for increases in all three programs, giving recipients a substantial boost in their monthly checks. But here's the real kicker: the $8,450 comes in the form of both a regular increase in monthly benefits and a one-time bonus payment. Bernie has proposed increasing the monthly payments for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipients by a significant amount between $400 and $500 per month, depending on the program and your individual circumstances. That's a huge difference for people who rely on these payments to survive, as it could represent a meaningful increase in their standard of living. The other part of the equation is a one-time payment, which could add another $1,000 or more to the pockets of eligible recipients. The one-time bonus would be given out to help beneficiaries cope with unexpected expenses, like medical bills, home repairs, or other emergencies. This would provide a lifeline for people who are already struggling with financial insecurity and help them get back on their feet, even if just for a little while. So when you add everything up, Bernie's plan could potentially provide as much as $8,450 in additional support for those who qualify. And that number could vary depending on your personal situation, the state you live in, and whether you qualify for all three programs. But either way, it's a significant financial boost for people who need it the most. Of course, you're probably wondering, how would this actually work in practice? How would this new payment structure be implemented, and when could people start receiving these benefits? Well, here's the thing, this is still a proposal, and it would need to pass through Congress before it becomes a reality. But Bernie Sanders has been working hard to build support for this plan, and he's made it clear that expanding Social Security benefits is one of his top priorities. If the plan were to pass, the next step would be for the government to adjust the payments for all eligible recipients. The Social Security Administration would likely be responsible for processing these increases, which could be phased in gradually. People would see their monthly payments increase, and at some point in the future, they'd receive the one-time bonus payment. One thing to keep in mind is that these payments wouldn't just be handed out willy-nilly. There would likely be eligibility requirements that you would need to meet in order to qualify for the full benefits. For instance, the one-time bonus might be restricted to people who meet certain financial criteria, or the increases might be tiered based on your income level or disability status. But the idea is to ensure that those who are most in need get the most help. So, who exactly would qualify for this triple payment plan? If you're receiving Social Security, SSI, or SSDI benefits right now, you're already halfway there. This plan is specifically designed for people who rely on these programs for their income, so if you're one of the millions of Americans who are already receiving these benefits, you would be eligible for the increased payments. But what about people who haven't yet signed up for these programs? If you qualify for Social Security or SSI but haven't filed a claim, you would need to do that in order to start receiving the benefits. Bernie's plan would provide an incentive for people to sign up for these programs and get the assistance they need. In some cases, people who may not realize they're eligible for benefits could also benefit from this expanded eligibility. Now, one of the most exciting aspects of Bernie's proposal is that it would apply to all 50 states. That's right, no matter where you live, whether it's in a high-cost state like California or New York or in a more affordable area like Montana or Alabama, you would be eligible for this plan, provided you qualify for Social Security, SSI, or SSDI benefits. Of course, there may be some variation in the amount you receive based on the cost of living in your area. In higher-cost states, people might receive slightly more financial assistance to account for the increased expenses in those areas. But overall, the plan is designed to help people in every corner of the country. Whether you're in a major urban center or a rural community, you would have access to the same financial support under this plan. The broader implications of this proposal are massive. If this plan were to pass, it could mark a turning point for how we view social safety nets in the United States. Expanding Social Security, SSI, and SSDI benefits would set a precedent for future benefit increases, ensuring that people who rely on these programs can keep up with the rising costs of living. It could also spark a larger conversation about how we provide financial security for our most vulnerable citizens. Furthermore, this proposal could have a ripple effect on the economy. If millions of people suddenly had more disposable income, they would likely spend more, which could boost local economies and increase demand for goods and services. It could create jobs, stimulate economic growth, and improve overall financial stability for individuals and families across the country. So, what do you think? Could Bernie Sanders' $8,450 triple payment plan be the solution to the financial struggles faced by millions of Americans? Would this be a much-needed lifeline for those who rely on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear your perspective on this. And as always, if you want to stay up to date on the latest news about Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and other important policy changes, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.